Me, and I just finished getting. Well, actually, I just got off from a nap. But before that, I finished watching Zetzts. I think 16. I have to say that so far, unfortunately, I don't think my theory is going to hold. Where I thought Cove was going to be the final, was going to be an evil organization. After watching 16 and 15 and seeing what happens to Zero, the chances of my theory being right is essentially zero. I mean, there's no way Code is going to be the final enemy at the end. After that woman showed up, uh, you know, so Code is probably not going to be the final enemy at the end. In fact, after watch episode 15 and 16, it's clear that Code is a good organization. It's not evil. I have a feeling that that it's a good organization. It's just that it has a very gray uh, level of production in terms of what what code can allow in order to get the missions completed. So I think that code is probably going to be like is a pretty gray organization in terms of uh, mythology, no methodology, right? So I think it's very like we're willing to do anything as for the greater good, even if it's perceived as bad, right? I have a weird feeling how that's how code is a kind of perceived as a necessary evil. Uh, so chances are that Code's going to be the final enemy at the end is very unlikely now. Especially after what happened in a recent episode where Nox just pretty much killed Zero. So that gets rid of any chance of him being like a boss, right? Um, as for Nem, I wonder what kind of nightmare is holding. Like, I wonder if part of me is curious about um about if Nem is connected to the world the same way Nox is. So part of me is wondering if there's a nightmare out there that's forcing her to stay sleeping like Nox, or is Nem despite what or is Nem different, or is there like something else? Because keep in mind that Nox is supposed no Nem is, I think, at least from what I understand, not Nem is supposed to be dead, right? So Nem's situation could be different from Nox's, but it can also be the same. Like the the dead part could just be like an assumption, and she's actually just the same thing as Nox. Like she's some type of uh, entity, uh, or nightmare is uh, locking her down in the realm of dreams. Now I don't know what the bad guy's name is, so so until that gets revealed, I'm just gonna call her the Black Lady. The black no. That sounds. Uh, I'll call her the gardener. We'll call her the gardener because she does have a garden. So so after watching 15 and 16, it's clear that the gardener is uh is gonna be the final enemy at the end, and she's probably going to be the main villain. And well, I have and Code is going to be the gray area, and what was it? And Baku is going to be probably going to also be a gray unit in terms. I think eventually. No, I'm hoping that he becomes a good a good unit that works for a gray unit, a great organization. But who knows? I am pretty after watching 16. I am kind of curious what Code's secret is, and I have a but I have a feeling it's just going to reaffirm that Code is a gray organization. All right, it's willing to do. It's willing to it's willing to protect the world at any cost, even if the cost is a sacrifice. I mean, that much is given if you look at Nox. Oh, wow, how Nox. Now, part of me is kind of wondering what makes Baku different than Nox, because like there has to be something about Nox that no Nox sorry Baku that compels because that's going to like, that compels them to like keep him around even with all like this like even because Baku did break orders, right? His mission was to kill Nox, but he disregarded that. So I'm kind of curious what makes Code want to keep Baku around even after he broke orders and didn't and refused to kill Nox. So it really makes me wonder. So I hope they explain. I hope in future episodes they explain what it is that caused uh you know explain what caused them to believe like put so much faith in Baku that Baku instead of Nox because from what I understand Nox seems to be more better seems to be the better technical fighter and is also I feel like he's more capable at least from what I've seen, right? So and he seems and also Nox seems to know more, right, about how the powers work and stuff. So it makes me wonder, like, with Nox having such a higher, I don't want to say tier, but higher capable agent, because he seems Nox seems way more capable than Baku. So it makes me wonder what Kuchia is giving that they side with Baku so strongly. Part of me believes that maybe Baku I don't know. Part of me thinks that Baku is maybe a special existence similar to Nemu. Nemu, Nemu, like I don't know, like he's like a nightmare, or like I said, my opinion is that maybe he's Baku could be a good could be a nightmare, but a good one, right? That or maybe not him specifically, or it could also be possible that it's not him that's the good nightmare, but maybe his parents, right? I think something along that line. And as for the detectives, I think detectives needs to fight Knox. I think they have to. I like. I don't. The detectives don't need to like fist fight. He doesn't have to fist fight Knox. I think that's going a little too far. But he should definitely confront them in some way, like some type of combat, or because I really feel like Knox and the detective need to have a heart. They need because they need to have some because they need to confront each other. Because I really feel like they need there has to be some type of heart to heart between the detective and Knox. I really feel like that's probably going to be necessary. Well, I'm really, but the part that I'm really worried about is that I think Knox. I'm hoping that Knox g- gets redeemed, but part of me feels like he's gonna. But part of me is worried they're just gonna kill him off, right? He's going to he's going to have he's going to meet the detective. They're gonna have a heart to heart. They're gonna bond, and then Code's gonna kill him off off. Now I hope that's not the case, but maybe so. Also, uh, I I really like, and now that like that part's done, we should talk about the episode. Now I really like this episode because you see the fight between Zero and Nox. I thought was really interesting, and there's a part where Zero steals Nox the eraser orb, caps him off of uh Nox, and then takes his belt, right? But the funniest part is after Zero takes the belt, Nox pulls out a new one, right? And then Zero's like, wait a minute, where did you get that from, right? And he pulls out the shadow capsule and transforms. And I have to say, Nox's shadow form looks fantastic. I think it looks really good. I really like it, like it. Um, but the only thing I don't understand is why Nox went out to kill Zero, because like from what I understand, Zero is an actual human that is using a machine as a proxy, right? Right. So because you're essentially he Nox is essentially just attacking the proxy, aka the bike. Uh, I don't think there's any reason to go after him, right? Because if you rip his crystal out and 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 right, even if you kill Zero and you destroy his mechanical body, the real Zero who I assume is remotely controlling that thing, that machine is still out there. So I mean, it kind of feels redundant. Like it means nothing. Yeah, sure. You kick the shit out of his robot body, but it's like I said, it's not even his real body. It's just a robot body. A robot body. Now things will be different if maybe that robot is Zero, right? That motorcycle is his real body, and that got and now Zero is completely out of commission because his physical body has been destroyed. So, which would be interesting. Uh, Interesting, but right, because the next episode preview goes, oh well, it's like, oh, you're commanderless now, right? But like I said, that that shouldn't be a problem because maybe they can just like I don't know use a because there could be like because there's no indication to show that Zero only has one mechanical body, right? I know now in the episode review, the preview, it does hint that maybe that Zero only has that one mechanical body, but I, if if that's not his main body, I think that can be rectified very easily. So I feel like even if the next episode and the Gartner comes and goes, oh well, now Code is gone. There's no leader for Code. But I feel like that's redundant because you know he'll just make a new one, right? Or more powerful bot. He could or he can he's trying to fix it, or he's trying to fix it, or trying to make a stronger one, right? So I don't know. Personally, I think that Nox goal is Baku and not Zero. I think killing Zero, it was just a way to wait like a distraction to so that he can kind of like keep it out of the commission while he tries to win over while he tries to get while he tries to get Baku. Because in the preview and the feeling I get, it kind of feels like the Gardener is aiming for Baku, right? And she just wanted Zero out of the way, so she got Nox to destroy the physical body, Zero's physical body in terms of his not his real physical body, but his robot bike physical body, or or something like that. That's what I feel. So I have a feeling the next couple of episodes, I think the Gardener is going to come for not for Nox for Baku. I really feel like that's going to happen, and then Nox I think is going to have a realization about this, and then I think he's going to turn good. That's what I'm hoping for. I really am, and that's what I'm honestly hoping for. But who can say? I also found it kind of interesting how the sisters kind of taken on like a manager type role for the base, right, for Baku. Because when he I think at the beginning of the episode when he wakes up and he goes into the base, she's like serving tea to like the detectives and stuff, becoming like a secretary for the like kind of like Baku's secretary, I guess. And watching detective and Baku apologize to each other was funny too. You know, funny too. So I do think it would be. So still think it would be interesting. Now, as to where I want it to go, I'm pretty. I really want now. I really want Zero to be an evil organization, and then they have to fight and then Baku and Nox and the cops all have to fight the government. But I mean that part, an evil organization is possible. I mean that the Gardener, right? But I don't know what those butterflies are for because the thing is that like those butterflies are I think created when when um when Zex destroys a nightmare, right? Or at least that's what the impression I get. So it makes me wonder if like the whole nightmare process, there's nightmares aren't monsters, but like a type of processing, right? Type of processing, and it's a way for her to, I guess, collect maybe the butterflies and all that, and Nightmare Destruction has some connection of her being able to collect power because the reason why I think this is the case because there is in the episode 16 there is a butterfly that comes from the garden and then enters the capsule and that is what transforms the capsule into the shadow capsule which allows him to use the his new driver. I'd say his new driver looks pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of the uh, Desire Grand Prix driver, and except that instead of a badge, it's a capsule, right? Right, and watching the uh, uh, episode where no, after watching the episode, and you watch Baku fight the motorcycle guy. It's kind of interesting because like what I thought that electric sonic arrow that he summons, right, in his plasma form, I thought that weapon can only be summoned and used while he's in plasma mode. But it turns out that he can summon the sonic blade weapon without being in plasma. Like I thought he had to be in plasma to even to summon or use it. But it turns out even in his basic form, he can summon the plasma bow. I'll call it the plasma bow. The plasma bow, right? So him using will not in plasma vortex really surprised me. I thought that he would have to transform into plasma and then summon the bow, but no, he can do it in his plastic form. He can do it in his basic form. Just summon the bow and shoot the rider off. As for Nam, um, I have a feeling that some point uh, in the next episode, uh, Nam is gonna get extremely touched, but I think uh, it's gonna come extremely touched of Baku trying to save her because I really because I because I really feel like based on the episode preview, he's really gonna go all out to save Nem, and and before we end the episode, I want to say I'm I want to ship them. I'm not going to, but I really want to ship Nem and Baku. I really feel like those two can be like the next Kiriko and Shinosuke. I really feel like that power couple could work. I won't lie. Anyway, I'll end this here today, and I'll end this here now. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.